chaotic
We all just got moved. Oh shit.
I had to use the threat of turning on the recording to
I'll
get
still
my
say what I was gonna say. I'm not scared.
making Tumblr memes.
Yes. I was referencing Tumblr memes. Sorry, everyone.
Boo. That's okay. I do that often.
Mm-hmm. Is session 2. Therefore, I do a recap of all active assignments. Currently, there is the Dusk Mother, which I hate. I hate this so much. Fuck you. My players are still on Tumblr memes. You've gone to left. You half of you went into the woods, found a mushroom guy, um, fed cereal to said mushrooms. The mushrooms are pleased at that. It's fine. Did manage to get your way to the Skelton family ranch, which is and meet a good portion of the skeletons. Only one skeleton has been not mentioned yet, which is going to be a very fun time. Mm-hmm. Because you're over there for dinner, maybe, perhaps. The other half, you went to the meat packing plant, uh, rode on up to the manager's office, hopped off, start talking. Did not end up well because we have an outstanding miss on that, and I have an idea for that. It's gonna be fun. Oh, in terms of conditions, Piper has a real nice fucking ride, and Zeph has too busy for him. Um, while everyone else managed to stay relatively clear. So it's going well, most likely.
I kept my fate and levels in control.
Mm-hmm. You may mark new end of session questions if you want, as well as resolve any beginning of session moves. I don't think anyone has any, as far as I know. However, Piper does owe me a verse.
So do
I
I.
will owe you a verse once we get this that mist roll taken
Okay.
care of. I
All
kind
right.
of marked it just to remind myself that that was my plan.
Okay, okay. uh, all right then. Trinity, are you ready to narrate your verse?
I certainly am. I wrote it at 3 a.m.
Lord have mercy.
So I checked a flashback to your childhood showing your first direct encounter with a god. Hmm. Trinity was never good at concealing her emotions. It was more than just wearing him on her sleeve. She was pure in her feelings that leaked out of her pores like sweat. So the first time she fought with her older sister, a new wound and emotion leaked out of her, and for the first time, she ran from it. Blinded by hurt and confusion, she did not stop until the pain in her bare feet and legs outweighed the one in her heart. She found herself in a clearing and quickly noticed the prayer marks on the trees that bordered the clearing. She turned face forward in a panic to find someone, something, standing in front of her. They were androgynous and covered in scar tissues, some scars subtly forming the prayer marks that were on the trees. They put a hand on Trinity's heart, and a new scar began to form on their body. Trinity quickly realized what was going on and grabbed the deity's hand and yanked it from her. This is my pain, and I will carve it deep into my heart. No one is deserving of carrying the pain of my sister can cause or the love she can instill but me. I love that I looked right up to Kyle's face. Just there we go.
Interesting, interesting.
I hate when Take a Haddock takes notes after you say something. It's not great.
I will note that there is a section for gods and divinities.
Motherfucker.
Uh, well, gods and deities. So,
I might have been scrolling the Still versus wiki before I was writing that. I was like, what kind of unnamed gods exist in this world? And it's like, oh, there's lots of really fucked up ones. Great. Let's go.
mhm,
It's like, oh, the gods of healing take root inside you in the wound. And I was like, oh, perfect. Let's go.
mhm. And since there's less than 3 active assignments, I will introduce a second one. Normally, a young woman vanishing into the House of Green Delights would not be news, but the house devoured the wrong girl this time. Jessica Trace, the daughter of Nesh's mayor, failed to clock in at the government job where she works. Friends and coworkers say they went out for drinks at the House of Green Delights a few nights prior, and Jessica was last seen being escorted into the invitation-only areas beyond their reach. The House of Green Delights is the haunt of an old goddess of love and intoxicants named Bright Feather. It is located in the district of Spires on the outskirts of Nesh. Nesh itself is full of modern amenities, but depending on who you ask, Spires is either an abandoned and unpoliced den of directionless decadence or the heart of a burgeoning bohemian counterculture. While anyone is welcome to enjoy a glass of the house's green ambrosia in the Old Manor's Grand Foyer Lounge, there are entire floors which are one can only access with the house's favor, granted in the form of a unique mask. However, one actually requires a mask is a local mystery. For those blessed, chosen, however, rumors claim the house offers a transcendent experience for those with open minds and inquisitive hearts. A reprieve from the dull and mundane, a place where unspoken desire live in whispers and more. More importantly, cults like Bright Feathers are a source of the deadly love saints, and the young, impressionable Jessica Trace perfectly fits the profile of its previous victims. While the Linger Straits sit outside the Bureau's jurisdiction, the CLS has no organization dedicated to investigating straight or problematic deities like BIASD, and it seems that they cannot act against the House without directly implicating the mayor, so they have reached out to the Bureau as a good faith gesture between the peninsula and the Linger Straits. However, the situation between the two nations is tense. Nesh will be watching how this plays out closely, and they would be more than happy to deny the existence of this agreement should you fail. Most likely, CLS will be quick to decry you as hostile government agents or saboteurs. It could be just the excuse they need for war. You must find Jessica Trace and get her back to them alive before whatever the House is doing to her is irreversible. Who? And there is a question associated to this, but we'll hold on off on that until you get to the Linker Straits. And with that, we enter the investigation phase. What do you all want to do?
Can I go to the House of Green Lights?
Mm-hmm. Oh, geez. The character creeper is a little bit broken. I'll fix it. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, no, I figured out. Okay, never mind. Anyone else? I'm gonna enter the journey phase.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeph.
Trinity is all
Gotta
about
go.
love, so
Gotta talk to the hubs and
Well, if we're all going to the House of Green Delights, I don't want to be the only person left out.
Well, I'm afraid, Piper, that since you still have a outstanding thing ongoing with you,
God
that
damn it.
because I
God
imagine
damn it. Go ahead.
it's not going to be as easy.
That's fair.
I think we'll resolve your scene, and maybe you'll get to enter the journey phase, or maybe you'll just get taken away. Because I think there is a commotion. People are screaming outside, and the lights coming from the outside window just dims ever so slightly as something is soaring overhead. Do you want to go outside?
Yeah, I'll pop back out to see what on earth that was.
A looming shadow with wings of twilight and eyes like twin moons, bone and silver talons, with feathers that are long, large, and a beak that has sharp bits pointed at jagged edges, and it's flying over. People are just surprised at trying to get underneath, and in the moment between heartbeats, zoom, fast down, striking down, picking someone up, crushing them into the claws. People are panicking. What are you doing, Piper?
Um I think this is the consequence of the failed roll.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to duck back into the office that of I guess the foreman, the person who I was talking to,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, right, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. You better deal with right fucking quick.
Yes, that thing has been getting more and more aggressive as of late. It's oh god.
Is that the thing from the farm that made the big fucking hole in your walls?
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. All of
Well,
which are not saints. Sorry.
yeah. What does that refer to?
uh
friends from
just
high school.
yeah, just my friends, just friends from high school. No, I don't say Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Um, but yeah, that's actually what I'm here to help with, but not sure I can do anything about the poor bastard that just got ripped apart up in there.
Mhm. But you did mention earlier that you do want to mark a verse, unless you
Yeah.
want to.
Well, I want to mark a verse, but I'm not currently in. Oh, should I mark a verse to save the dude?
Basically, because like you on your character keeper originally, since like you haven't quote unquote marked a verse, but you did mark it as a reminder for this session that you wanted to mark a verse. So unless you want to unmark that and just continue facing the consequences of like this guy.
You cut out.
Yeah,
Well,
you
Mm,
you
cut out.
froze for a second there.
oh boy, I don't know what's going on. It says I'm
Because yeah,
connected.
I was thinking I would mark it because it was a failure, but the consequences haven't directly like impacted me all that much yet. So
I mean, I'm gonna have to, like, if you want to leave this office, you're gonna have to make a revelation move. Um,
okay, then maybe yeah, maybe I just won't get any clues because I would have bumped that up because I think it was an investigation role initially,
mhm,
and I'll keep the failure on that, and then I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll like try and lead it away and then lose it in the woods or something.
mm.
Maybe that'll be like
Lord have mercy. Internet.
as it makes another pass and then like duck back in, and I make eye contact with the foreman, the guy in the office, and I'm just like, right, it's time for you to give me everything that you know about any of this, just real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to lead it away. All right, I'm going to
Mhm.
start doing my fucking job, so you start doing yours.
All right. All right. So you're not marking the verse.
Not yet. I will unmark that on my sheet.
Mhm. All right. So, all right. You're creating a distraction to lead the Dusk Mother away. Let's go to the revelation move. When you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. The keeper will tell you how it's worse than you fear. You may back down if you want, or go through with it.
I'm afraid that I won't be able to shake it once I've caught its attention, and I'm gonna end up like that the poor bastard that just got pulled off into the sky and ripped apart.
It's worse than that. You'll be not only taken, ripped apart, but you'll be used as food for the mother's, well, chicklings.
That makes sense.
This is going to be with communion.
Which is a flat roll for me.
Yeah. However, since you are presumably riding, evading, uh, well, mounted on your motorcycle, uh, you can mark a box to roll with advantage if you want.
That is what I'm going to do. And then describe how it becomes more organic.
Yeah, yeah. And you mark the appropriate box with it, such as exhaust to breath, forks to legs, etc.
I'm gonna start with exhaust to breath. That as I hop onto the motorcycle and like we start to speed off, like the this very loud, powerful, like thundering sound of the motorcycle, like it's still there, but it comes in like these gasps and wheezes and roars into this kind of rhythmic sense. And someone might get the impression that I'm just like revving the engine over and over, but it's it's definitely not the way that it feels to actually feel that hot breath around you as you're driving. So
Roll with advantage.
With advantage. Here we go. D6. 3d6. Damn. That is an 8.
A simple complication. Marked by the Dusk Mother. But you do manage to weave and bob probably throughout the facility, then heading to town and then driving away, perhaps to meet your compatriots later, and now I'll allow you to mark the journey. Entering the journey phase.
I'm also going to mark that mask that I wanted to mark to bump that up to a 10 plus.
Okay, so you don't get the condition. So anyways, we'll enter the journey phase because, well, because it does take a while to get to the straits, as it were. I mean, that's what it's called.
I'm aware. I'm just thinking of a different kind of straits.
I think probably a good place to probably meet up at would be a roadside diner. Which I'll think about. But however, I think before we go on a little brief pause, I do have to ask Zeph. Unlike the rest of your compatriots, you do have a sort of start of journey phase move. Would you care to read that aloud, please?
When you enter the journey phase, you may visit your husband instead of doing a normal journey scene. No other custodian can accompany you while you journey in this way. You gain an additional ritual for this journey phase, your husband. If you answer the following question, you may clear up to 2 conditions. How does your husband use your body for his pleasure? If you choose to do a normal journey scene, then you must make the veiled move as you ignore your husband's call. At the end of each session, answer the question, did you enter the journey scene? If you answer no, you take the condition too busy for him. If you are already afflicted with too busy for him, you replace it with disloyal. At the end of every session, if you did not enter the journey scene and have the condition disloyal, you must mark a verse of prophecy. And there's a second half that I don't have unlocked yet.
No, it's fine. But are you going to see your husband?
Well, he is the one picking me up.
All right. Then the rest of you will have a journey scene all together. And we'll take a quick pause for me to set that up.
That would probably be a really great. Oh, every time I get denied my stories.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll be here for like another 10 to 15 minutes.
Rude.
I know my groups. I know how distracted they can get.
It's called ADHD. Thank you.
Everybody I play with has ADHD. Eventually, it's got to stop being an excuse.
I've got 81. Most people only have 80, but I've got 81.
It's one higher. Barry, this is Spinal Tap, but for neurodivergent. Mine goes one higher.
Why would you just make it's 81 HD? Goes to 81.
Okay, I'm done now. I'll be good.
Okay. As good as you can be.
Considering who you're fucking playing.
So, The journey phase is triggered by moving between assignments, in which typically there is a journey scene. Journey scene kind of works like an unseen. But instead of it being separated from what the PCs are part of, you are in the midst of the scene. Uh, Particularly, we are going to a staple of the Silt versus RPG, which is a roadside diner on a midway point between going from the peninsula to the straits, because you're gonna have to get on like a ferry to like head over to there, but still probably it would be best to like take a break before then. Aaron is just McFrickin' losing it. But this particular diner is called the Seed and Vine. Steph, as a paint the scene prompt, what notable iconography or decor stands out to you at the Seed and Vine?
I think that all of the tables are grown out of the dirt of the restaurant. Like it's doesn't have a concrete foundation. It's just heavily packed dirt that has tables and chairs growing out of it. Vines wrapping around themselves to make the shapes.
Aaron, what is featured on the menu? You're muted.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be muted? Uh, Sinful pancakes. They are stuffed with Nutella, covered with strawberry jam, of course, harvested from one of the many subsidiaries of Sweet Jolly Crunch Tooth. My diabetes just acted up when I said those words.
Kyle, what quirky diner tradition do the locals maintain here?
Um, well, it's called the Atonement Eating Challenge. Um, about how many of these extremely sinful pancakes you can eat in one sitting. And so, you know, if you eat enough, it's not clear immediately what that number is, but it is clear that there's this, on the side, there's the side of the restaurant, there's this massive wall of atonement, and people's photographs and everything are taped up to the sides of it, as well as there's a section of the wall of atonement that is cordoned off for those in need of special atonements. The pictures there are less pleasant to look at, but they have to be there for contractual um, covenant reasons.
Freaky. And finally, Marty, what rumor have you heard about the owners of this establishment?
The rumor is that the syrup that got that it's on the trash gets reused. But people say it's just rumors. The syrup is great, even if it had passed through different cans.
Now, Trinity, Piper, Theo, you're all at a table, which could have been a little bit more comfy because it is made of like branches and like plant matter and whatnot. There's the smell of like just fresh earth and whatnot. And you this scene sort of acts like a normal scene, but instead you could trigger the journey move, which is sort of a pseudo vulnerable move. But I will note, just as a sort of a prompt to get like the role play started, there is a recall a time, which you could talk about, or you could just ignore me for some other conversation. But where was the last place that you went on a date?
These are supposed to be in the form of conversation, right?
Yeah, it's roleplay. Yeah,
Cool.
it's just optional.
I know that I'm not there. I just wanted to clarify for my own understanding.
Yeah. It's like bonus points.
Bonus ducks.
Well, before anyone starts telling their story, I will just set the scene a little bit for Trinity.
Mm.
Trinity is laying on the table, like head in her hands. The skateboard underneath her feet is being slammed into the wall over and over again as this aura of just depression is radiating off of her.
Theo is he ordered pancakes, so he's writing with the syrup on the pancakes with a knife. He's writing, and then he wraps it up and eats them. He writes something, adds it up, and eats them.
I think Piper is looking between the two and is like trying to figure out who to ask to move to the same table so that we can all sit together. And I think I finally decide that that Trinity. I go over and I say, right there, kiddo. I I think you might. Why don't you come sit with us? We can talk about what's going on. There's a there's a pretty big mess being left back there, and you might want to know about what's going on.
Aaron, you're muted again.
God damn it. She rolls her head to the other side to like look at you and is like, none of that matters to me right now. And she just gestures to the empty booth across from her. She's not here. Who cares?
Who's not here, sweetheart?
My big sister.
Oh, right. That's right. And I pull out of my messenger bag like some files, and I'm like, right. The last names match. Oh, right. We'll see her. We'll see her soon. Don't you worry about it. It's not something to worry about. Listen, you need to get some OJ inside you, right? We'll get you some OJ. You'll perk right back up. You'll see her again, and then you'll tell me what you saw out them in them there woods, right?
After that, we'll get you some orange juice.
I've got a friend named OJ.
Oh no.
No, and I'll order. I'll like raise my hand and like call over the waitress and be like, right, if we'll all go on my tab, right? And what if we can we get some orange juice and some pancakes and everything? And I look at the waitress and I say, oh, wait a minute, I think I did I meet you the last time I came through here? And I think that this waitress is the last person I went on a date with.
Oh shit, what's her name?
Um, Caroline.
Sweet Caroline. Sorry.
Bah, bah, bah. Uh,
Wait, Caroline? Wasn't she supposed to date with me?
but I mean, she was, but you never showed up. You got sidetracked. You remember that one? Do you remember that one? Caroline, do you remember? You remember Theo? You remember me? Never mind. It's been a hot minute, I guess.
Man, you girl, you have to have some kind of
Sorry, could you say that
girl.
again?
You have to, girl. You must have some kind of dignity because I mean, well, never mind. And he starts writing, and when he finishes, he says, "Boom," and pipe and goes right out beyond her shoulder, beyond Piper's shoulder, you know.
Mhm.
And like he's not looking at Piper, but he does the.
Yeah. And how is Caroline taking seeing us again?
Okay, originally I was gonna be like, okay, this is gonna probably trigger like the journey move and whatnot because you were talking about your past histories. However,
It's worse than that.
this is gonna be, I guess, the veiled move because not only does Theo is at this place where he like sort of ghosted this woman, but also Piper is also there, which I think it's just like a very fucking awkward situation. So, and it seems like Piper is maybe taking the lead on this, or Theo. Depends on like who wants to like engage with the waitress more.
Piper does. Piper wants to engage with the waitress more. I
Yeah,
mean, it
Um,
wasn't a bad date. It wasn't
it
a. I
wasn't
mean,
a
it wasn't
bad
a bad date for me and Caroline.
no,
it was
but
a bad day for Theo.
It was.
Piper, what are you afraid might happen?
um, I'm afraid that. Uh, I'm afraid I'm going to be reminded. Oof, Jesus. I'm afraid I'm going to be reminded that wasn't as good and fun a time as I seem to think it was.
Okay. Roll with presence. Um, as you do that, we'll cut over to Zeph, who is in her husband's car, being driven to the streets. I have to know, Zeph. Sometimes your husband remains unseen by the world and offers a little bit of his power towards you to make sure you are happy. But other times, he does physically show up. What's a what sort of skin does your husband wear? I have to ask.
He is the platonic ideal of a husband. He is a. There's not really any necessarily distinguishing facial features or anything like that so much as he is a bright, almost blindingly bright white light that is in the shape of a 6'5" man with pecs and muscles and biceps and the only thing that you can really see that is physical on him is a cigar that is ever in the general head region of this blindingly white silhouette. Uh, I think we're in the just married car, and uh, yeah, I think that Zeph is a little bit a little quiet, uh, but eventually she'll turn to him and say, "So, how was work?"
Work was fine. It was a job. It takes a lot out of me. The sort of the vibrations of sound sort of seem to fluctuate between voices of what a husband should sound like. Sometimes it is a very deep and gravelly voice. Other times it is sort of a very flat, non-committal voice, trying to not appear aggressive. But other times it's a little bit aggressive, anyways. But your your day out, was it good?
It was interesting. I wasn't expecting to, but I saw my little sister again.
Hmm.
She was excited to see me.
Yes, I know. Your sister didn't. Your sister didn't take the wedding very well. So it's interesting that she is back around again.
Yeah, I didn't even know that we were doing work for the same company.
Well, it's not really work now, is it?
No, you are the provider after all.
Mhm.
I think she kind of like looks a little bit maybe dejected and nervous. She turns to him and she asks, "You don't, you're not still jealous of her, are you?"
Why would I be? You are my wife. And, well, she may be family, but we can, well, get that situated with the house and all, so that she can may pay a visit. And we can have a proper discussion just to make sure that everything is settled. After all, my goal in life is to make you happy.
Of course. I'd love to have her over for dinner sometime. Maybe I could invite my other uh associates
Mhm.
who have been traveling these assignments with uh Beazed.
Yes, they seem to have insightful things probably to say, and probably will help you out when I'm at work.
Yes,
And
I'm very fortunate.
I think with discussing a little bit about your sister and her sort of relationship to your husband, I think this does trigger the journey move.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Well, The journey move does specifically say custodian, though.
I uh Alternatively, you may engage in your personal ritual to clear a condition. So,
I
and
see.
your husband is a ritual for this journey phase. I thought
True.
of I thought of it all, Seth.
You're right. All right. Fuck yeah. Well, journey move it is.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll clear too busy for him.
Hmm. Meanwhile, Piper, you rolled whatchamacallit, the veiled move. What did you get?
I got an 8.
Piper? Piper Kessel, is that you? Oh, it's been a while. Oh, and Theo.
And this is this one's Trinity. The young one's Trinity.
Trinity just glares.
Listen, I'm not into him. And like she points to like Theo. Because like she's like the situation like she thinks you're glaring at her about is like the sort of like awkward tension going on.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not. It's all water under the bridge, right?
Right. Um, I think so. Your food's all doing good. Syrup keeps on pouring on through as like Theo is like writing into like into the pancakes.
Of course, just like always. In every time we come through,
Mhm.
it's always fantastic. And I'll cover the whole table on my tab. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think
That was sorry, and you hear Theo saying that was the least you can do since you robbed my girl, Piper.
I'd such a kidder, this one. Always with the jokes. And I
right.
under the table, I stomp my biker boot down on Theo's toe, just like
Mhm. Take the condition, Piper, quote unquote, dating Theo.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I'm into that actually. I'm really into that. Did I think I was gonna clear a condition?
Well, I think like probably you could have a conversation a little bit further to talk about your past with each other, just to like trigger the dirty move because I don't think we've
Yes,
hit that threshold yet.
yeah.
Because boy, you triggered the wrong move.
Yeah. You know what? As Caroline like walks away and everything, I'll like pause for a second and then I'll like you can see the gears turning in Piper's head and she'll just go, "Oh, fuck." And then I'll look at Theo. Do you think she thinks you and I are an item?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe she does.
I mean, it was only like 3 or 4 times we did that.
No, it was more than that, and you know it.
Right. But, it has been a long time. It's, you know
Yes.
what?
Well,
I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it.
you're never over me, baby. You're never.
Oh.
Trinity, how do you feel about all this?
Trinity is now listening carefully to this conversation, and she looks agitated now. Not the depression has slowly like slid over to this malice that's radiating from her now. And she grabs her butter knife and stabs it into the table. And it's just like, neither of you know what love is. And if you did, you'd carve your heart out right now and offer it to whoever it belonged to.
Oh, we really do want love is, lady. We really do.
I mean, I would not presume to. I would not presume to say I listen. And I'm going to take. I think you might need something stronger than OJ. Here's you can have my coffee, and I hand it over to Trinity.
I think
This
just to make a sort of a little bit of a lower drop here, and as well just to say that Trinity, you're taking a condition from this because damn, you're just so pissed at these lovebirds. Neither of you know what love is.
Oh boy. That's gonna hit me all the fucking time.
Have we completely failed the journey scene? We walked into it with like twice as many conditions as we are walking out of it with twice as many as we walked in with.
Yeah.
You're just drama filled. Perhaps other thing filled, but we aren't talking about that yet.
It seems normal for this group to fuck up the thing.
Honestly, real.
What should we do? Just fuck up the journey scene?
Yeah.
Hey fan, how we fuck up the journey scene?
I just love it. One part, me throwing horrendous, like awful phrases at Zeph. Other part, me just watching y'all do the disaster to yourself.
Yeah.
I think Trinity, the sort of coffee that you offered is from the latest Grinding Lord coffee blend, which is not for the faint of heart as advertised on the menu. It is strong, it is bitter, it is an unpleasant experience, but it's coffee.
I mean, Trinity pulls out creamer from who the fuck knows where, because she doesn't have a backpack to cut the coffee with.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. But I think with all the discussions taking place, it does now trigger the journey move. Because it can be done as a group. So let's read it out for when you and at least one other custodian share a scene in which you discuss your personal history or relationship to divinity. I would say relationship with divinity also implies relationships to each other, since your husband is in play. You each clear a condition, then stumble upon a clue. The custodians in the scene should tell the keeper what the clue is and how they came across it. The clue cannot conclusively answer a question by itself, so it's just one clue. But each of you may clear a condition if you want to.
I'll keep mine.
You'd think I'd clear dating Theo because like we just quote unquote cleared that up, but it's way funnier to keep that. I'm clearing a real nice fucking ride.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my most beloved condition.
Neither of you know what love is.
Damn, all of you are freaks. This is why you're on the unhinged side of things on my graph.
And this is why we play all together. That's the reason we play all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hinged, unhinged political alignment graph is one of my favorite things of the day. Like, absolutely. I love that.
I'll share a default to it for the Gauntlet Discord so everybody can enjoy graphing their groups. But anyways, clue. Thoughts?
Does it have to be a clue for the House of Green Delights? Because that's where we're headed.
Or it could be for the Dusk Mother.
So it doesn't matter which one you're,
No.
or it has to be either the endpoint or where you started from. Or does it not
Technically,
matter at all?
no. It's effectively the vulnerable move, but with more free range as to what triggers it, because it doesn't require your personal ritual. It only requires your personal ritual if you're trying to do it by yourself, which is how Zeph was able to trigger it. Because I figured like that if like they're going off by with their husband that no one else is coming along, they might as well need an additional ritual besides what's Zeph's normal ritual?
Wood carving.
Wood carving, because I doubt like wood carving in the car would be like much approved by your husband.
No, also just generally unsafe.
What if the clue is for the House of Green Delights and like it's a big billboard for some other unsanctioned or some other sanctioned love god that has like this big thing. The billboard says, "Do you know what love is?" And on it, graffitied in green, there are prayer marks for the House of Green Delights and some like derogatory comments about the company.
Very, very nice. And with that, I think we'll leave the journey phase. Congratulations, we got through that.
Yeah, the journey phase where it's like this is supposed to be a reprieve, and now every single one of us are all like, I can make this person worse.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay. Focus. Get in the zone. The House of Green Delights. It is a very large building down the street in the Straits. It is bustling, sort of growing city where it's not quite metropolis level, but like it's going to be getting there in the next decade or so. People are going by, not really paying much attention to it because they all know what it is. You yourself, it is open. There is no issue of getting in. The first floor, there is sort of almost like a banquet hall. Um, there is like multiple tables. There are these, well, three great glass vats filled with green liquid that really dominate the room, with behind a long communal table. On this table, there's candelabras, glasses for ambrosia, as well as slotted spoons and bowls with lumps of lavender, sugar, and holy water for blessing. A raised gallery around the perimeter offers a place to look down from on high. Two vats have, well, bodies suspended in them, wrapped in silk and chains. Something inside of them twitches occasionally. From the spigots, their base glasses are green ambrosia filled. A paint the scene for everyone. The banquet table offers delicacies some wouldn't dare to dream of. Which of one tempts you the most?
There's the head of a pork, but raw.
Mm.
Think that there is a smashed wedding cake.
On top of the smashed wedding cake, there is, the figurines, the two figurines of the man and woman that were on the wedding cake are edible. Like the figurines themselves are edible. The bride is what tempts Piper the most.
I think the thing, and this is weird. I think it's a reverse turducken. Like the outside is chicken and then the inside, so the chicken's like stretched to bursting. Oh, oh God. I might have said that instead. That's awful. Yeah, let's go with the golden donut to match your promise ring. That's the irresistible thing.
I'm adding both.
Sounds good.
Gross. Grody. I love it. I think the group of you, as you are entering, does draw quite a bit of attention because, well, frankly, people are wearing decently like fancy attire. They're wearing masks and whatnot. Some people aren't wearing masks, but they have at least the decency to dress like in sort of ballroom attire. People are gossiping and whispering as Steph gets her caffeine. But what do you all do? There's staff serving people. There are other guests to talk to. What's the plan for action?
Is there someone to talk to?
Yes, there are several people that you can talk to. You could talk to one of the other guests. You could talk to one of the staff.
Well, someone of the staff. Do I see a waiter or a waitress?
Yeah, yeah. The waiters are wearing simple bandit-style masks. They sort of make sure, like, if anything gets spilled, that it rapidly gets cleaned up. Approaching one of them, that he just says, "Is there anything I can help you with?"
Yes, a friend of mine called, what's the name of the girl? Let me see. A friend of mine called
Jessica Trace.
Jessica Trace. A friend of mine called Jessica Trace told me that the ambrosia was great. Is that right?
Oh, yes, of course, it's great. And I would like you to roll the, making sure I have the right term for this game, probably information move with presence.
+1, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's 4 free +1 and 8. That's an 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll come back to that. What is everyone else doing as Theo is talking to staff?
Think that Zeph probably shows up a little bit after everyone else, like once all the other custodians are already in the house. I think that she will walk in and upon seeing like all of the food and stuff laid out, I think she's going to approach it and like very gently as she walks past Trinity, she will kind of like just barely brush against her arm with her own before moving forward toward the smashed wedding cake.
Trinity, what are you doing then?
Uh, Trinity, who is probably not sitting, makes a noise. Uh, that's difficult to put a finger on what it means exactly, and almost collapses at the table and excuses herself to use the bathroom.
Jesus, Steph. I think finding the bathroom is not too hard, Trinity. I think there's sort of a little bit larger than a private bathroom, but so like there's a few stalls, but it's still like a very small thing. This is something that in our real world that it would be like the size of like a church bathroom. Tiled floors, a communal mirror with a basin that has like deep wells. I think like for now, since it's fairly early in the day, I imagine there's no one in here quite yet. Probably no one vomiting or anything of that nature.
Uh, Trinity will take a moment to compose herself, and then realizing she does still have a job to do, she'll look for any sort of prayer marks or anything else in this bathroom that might uh, be damning about what's going on here.
Yeah, that is gonna be mm, probably, I'm gonna say mm, insight for now.
I could do that. Oh, that'll be an 11. Oh, why do I keep getting tempted by good rolls?
I mean, you could put a 12 plus to just get that conspiracy on the board.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I would think on your regular clue for now, but Trinity, I think as like you're looking around, you hear the flushing of a toilet. It was a little bit surprising, but like this person comes on out. They they are also less suited for this place. So like sort of like this awkward eye contact. They like seem to like have like a sort of a gear kit on like their belt with like various things like a flashlight, some tools and whatnot. Um, I'm sorry. Are you here for some work or wait, maybe are you with that group? Oh, what's the name? I can remember it. Biased? Yeah.
Sure.
Actually, if you want, I can. I was told to be like on alert because like I heard that you were coming here in the area, but I know things politically speaking a little bit tense, but something strange is going on here, and we just need some people to help out here. So think of it as a little bit of tit for tat, as it were, and sort of points back at the stall. There's something in there for you, as a sort of a gift from the Sketteridge Foundation.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of that foundation again?
Uh, Sketteridge. I will paste it to chat. Meanwhile, Zeph and Piper. Zeph, you're very fascinated in the wedding cake that's been smashed upon the table.
Yeah, I think that she's going to probably, get a plate and then go over to the wedding cake and grab a fistful of it and slap it on the plate.
Yeah, there is a certain like green sort of color to it. Smells faintly of alcohol. Probably some of the green ambrosia got used in making the cake. So, Piper, what are you doing?
Um, is there either a like bar or an obvious like maitre d'?
I think in terms of like a bar, it's less of a bar, but rather like there is like three glass vats with like alcohol that's been filled with them, and like people are go up to like probably some people some of the staff to like get glasses and like they fill up their own drinks and whatnot. Uh there's slotted spoons and bowls of lumps of lavender sugar nearby, holy water for blessing. Do you want to just drink some green delights, as it were?
No, I'm on the job. Thank you very much, sir. Uh, yeah. Can I track down a maitre d' or someone
Mm-hmm.
sufficiently? Um, because what I want to do is basically like I want to kind of establish I've been here before, I've done some deliveries and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and so I kind of want to just like ask um real quick if the and I'm gonna make something up, so you feel free to shoot it down. But
Yeah.
if the High Dionysian is is in office, I have I've run jobs before, and
Mm-hmm.
I know who's in charge, and just wanted to pop by and see if she happened to be in for a quick chat.
Yes, they're the yeah, I would say this is less going to be the information move, but rather you get told like, oh yes, she is upstairs, but it's Frankly, it's only invitation only. You must understand. And like the masks
Of
are
course. Of course. I do wonder if my mask. I did have a temporary one to meet with her that one time. Is she in a good mood? Do you know? Do you know if she's in a good mood?
Perhaps.
Or perhaps, it's usually a good mood, a better mood than usual.
Hmm. Yes. I'm gonna have this be probably the veiled move. I'm gonna give you advantage since technically you have been here before. And this is effectively getting you into the mask gallery to get a new mask. So, what are you afraid might happen if you're not able to do that?
Um, I'm afraid that they're going to remember that I've done 3 jobs for them and done a good job delivering 2 jobs for them.
Oh, so the last job was not that great.
Yeah, I should have a very temporary, unofficial kind of mask on file. Um, I'm really hoping it's still there,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll with advantage. This is going to be with presence.
which is 0.
Mm-hmm.
God damn! Okay, that's a 4, even with advantage. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. So, anyways, Theo, I owe you a clue.
We'll get back to that clusterfuck later.
Yeah. I think something that's typically as like you're asking about like a sort of about one of your quote unquote friends, a bell tolls, and as if on cue, everyone in the near proximity just looks up towards the ceiling unexpectedly. And as soon as the bell stops tolling, they go back to their business.
Hmm.
Um, how old does Theo look?
He's in his 30s, late 30s.
Late 30s?
Yeah.
Aren't aren't you a little bit old for her? Um, Jessica Trace is like in her early 20s.
Well, friendship is friendship.
That is going to be a condition. Aren't you a little old for her? Right. I suppose it takes one of all types. And well, the House of Green Delights does not discriminate on matters of friendship. She she was invited to go upstairs, so she was given her own mask, but well, good sir, I've not seen you here around before, so you might need to be here a little bit while longer to get an invitation.
Oh, okay. You don't have like some rooms to spend the night, right?
Well, we do have some places to stay the night. Mostly a little bit, at least in this floor. You might be a little bit careful staying the night, but well, there is places to stay. The
Okay.
main banquet hall has been designated as safe, if that helps.
Okay. Thank you very much. You don't happen to know because I'm looking for Jessica,
Hmm.
right?
Well, if I imagine that she's probably still on the upper floors, um, this particular establishment has 5 floors. You are on the first.
Okay. So what do I do to have to What do I have to do to climb up?
Hmm. Get an invitation. But as to how, I cannot tell you. Good day.
Good day.
Zeph, you have wedding cake.
That I do. Uh, I think that she's going to like look at the lump of smashed cake on her plate and then look at her hand where she picked it up. And I think she's going to very lightly, like with the tip of her tongue, taste the cake on her hand, trying to kind of discern what it is and what it does.
It mm, because you do not have one verse of prophecy marked, it does not trigger the custom move, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But however, when you taste it, it tastes of your desire. What do you desire? What would it taste like?
I don't think you want to know the answer to this one.
Uh, I gotta ask it. So I gotta know against my will. Kevin, this is for you. Kevin wrote this particular assignment.
Yeah, Kevin's great. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm about to deal psychic damage to everyone in the call. The cake tastes like Trinity.
Oh Lord.
I'm fine.
Okay, I will not be sharing this segment with Kevin then.
He might see it anyways.
I know what I would call this session. No. Just so we can get things off the all resolved, Trinity, I owe you a clue, as well as some more details as to something that you may actually. Oh yeah, you get a good bunch of good stuff. I think I think as like you're looking, you realize that the window has some like it's stained glass, but like there's some red flakes at the base, and you realize like, oh, there's a stained glass heart sort of in it. And as you sort of just poke it, you realize some of it's more flaking away, and it reveals green glass underneath as your clue. In the bathroom stall, however, is something very interesting. I say interesting. There is a first aid kit, basic repair tools, but like a sort of a extendable baton, which could be used as a weapon. Uh, and some high quality ritual materials. You can add that to your altar.
I see. Is that all one thing, or are those several things I'm adding?
I will say that this will be one thing because
Okay.
otherwise, if you're adding several things, that would be two bow power.
Yeah, that is why I was clarifying.
Yeah. Um, and since Marty has to go, I think we'll do stars and wishes real quick for Marty, and then we'll go on break.
Um, Real quick, my star for Marty is not only like picking up what I was putting down when I was like, that was only like for 3 or 4 times, and you being like, no, man, it was more than that, and you know it. Like immediately yes-anding me, and like the response to that was just so perfect. It was exactly what I was kind of hoping for, and you did such a good job for that. I want
Yeah,
my wish is exploring that. The fact that we have history.
yeah. I could always trust Marty to make things worse for our custodians. Not giving me psychic damage this time, which I'm thankful for, unlike my other players. Uh, definitely definitely enjoy you going into like, oh yeah, Jessica is my friend. I gotta go talk to the staff, see if I can get myself an invitation. You sure you don't know how to get one? Pretty please. Just sort of like that energy of just being very by the book, even though technically Theo would probably just destroy books. Really enjoyed writing in the pancakes and then eating said pancakes. Definitely looking forward to trying to work out how to get the sort of wax and scrivener ink aspect more in play. Uh, I I think just by for your end of session questions, I think you did technically hit them both in a weird way by both quote unquote dating on the job as well as standing up for others on dates probably in the past. It's just like I think that hits, as well as just being vulnerable with someone about like, yeah, we did dates. So
My star for Marty is writing you like doing the Scrivener thing, but with the syrup on the pancakes. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed that. Wish I also want to see what disaster is going on between Piper and Theo. I'm here for it.
Uh, yeah, I agree with everything that's already been said. But my big star for you, Marty, is like I like that we got to see a lot more of Theo's personality this time. Like originally he seemed kind of I don't know, the vibe that I got was like sort of naive. But then after this session, it's very clear that he's not naive so much as he's just aloof and like pretty disillusioned with the world. And I think that's really interesting. And I'm very excited to see how that continues to develop as more and more fucked up shit happens to us. And yeah, I'm also excited to see what the fuck is up with Piper and Theo. Like, this is gonna be my fucking favorite like soap opera that I get to see weekly. I gotta get my shows.
Gotta watch your stories.
Yeah.
My star for Erin is her verse. I think it was great. The verse you wrote was incredible. For Steph, the moment that you decide to go with your husband instead of going with all of us, it was such a great moment. And for Skyle, the moment that you decide that you would not mark a mask or write a verse, I mean, when you said, okay, let everything happen. I mean, it was like great, it was a great choice, like derailing, and also as chaotic, I think you have earned the nerves of playing with us, you have earned the right of being of being our our GM forever after the things we do, you know. And I want to do a general start for everyone of the sorry, how do you say it? The scene,
Journey scene.
the journey scene. Yeah, right. The journey scene where we were supposed to do we were supposed to do A, and we did B, and it only happens in this group, you know. Only happens in this group. So anyway, thank you very much, and we're have a nice week.
Mm-hmm.
Love you guys.
Love you. And we'll go on break. Anyways, I am the best at segueing from off mic into on mic. Where were we? Oh, yes. A 4.
A 4 on that roll, yeah.
You were taken down some hallways and whatnot. This is a big, sprawling place. I'm not sure exactly how big it is. You haven't been in this section before. And there is a room. It seems to be like a sort of drawing room. There's tables with papers. It seems to be more historical rather than party and whatnot. There is various taxidermied animals hung up on the walls. It's very masculine, would be a word to describe it. I think there is this just this just this stag that really draws like your attention because it's a very large, about like 10 feet tall, big imposing figure. If you would wait here, please.
I'm gonna have to choose now between waiting here and not putting on a mask but writing a verse.
If you go in, your door is getting locked behind you.
Yeah, I
So-
think I'll write a verse for I'll write a verse. It's gonna be a bad time if I go in there.
Oh, all right. Instead, you are led elsewhere to the mask gallery. It's a small room, brick walls displaying masks highlighted by overhead lights. No two masks are alike. A paint the scene for everyone. One of the masks speaks to you as if it were made for you personally. Describe the mask and how it reflects, reveals, or highlights something about your custodian.
I think for Trinity, it's the comedy and tragedy mask, but they've like blended into one in like this kind of fucked up amalgam. So like it's like a big grin on one side and then the teardrop and the smile on the other.
I think Piper's is actually pretty basic. It's just like kind of a half face mask, and it's just it's nice leather, but it's very much like biker leather kind of thing. Um, Not nothing fancy. It's not like horse shaped or anything like that. It's just a leather one.
Listen here.
My ears are wide open.
You don't need to be calling me out in chat and distracting me.
For Zeph, I think that the mask is It's made entirely out of chains, save for the uh, left eye, which is kind of like it has this marble placed inside of it that when you look at it, it looks sort of like a blazing inferno. And the right eye is just a regular hole for her actual eye.
Interesting, interesting. Piper, that's plain leather mask. That is yours. But I think the condition I'm going to just give you is your reputation precedes you.
Oh, damn. That's very good.
And you can add that mask to your altar.
That is very kind. Thank you.
I mean, it could be used later, such as me taking it away from you.
Or also that. I might need it immediately because I've been rolling like garbage.
Anyways, Trinity,
It's me.
do I don't have any other way to say it, but do you come out of the bathroom?
Yeah, like after she gets the stuff from the stall and
Mhm.
has confirmation, she'll return to the banquet hall.
Zeph, do you wander out, or do you stay in the banquet hall until Trinity returns?
I think that she'll be there till Trinity returns, and when she sees her, she'll kind of walk over and tap the tip of her nose with the wedding cake hand and get some of the frosting on it, and she'll say, "All right, let's get looking into this thing then."
Uh, I could do this in real life, so I will. Trinity does one of these, uh, and gets the frosting off her nose.
I think
I,
that yeah, Zeph kind of turns around to lead the way, and she is grinning as she does so.
Trinity will follow on her heels and just be like, I already found something weird in the bathroom, but
Oh, what did you find?
she sort of like she probably has like a satchel of some sort, and she just kind of like opens it up and like this in the stall for some reason.
Huh. Well, that's strange. Well, I'm glad that it was useful, I guess. Where should we start? Do you think we should talk to some of these folks, or maybe just kind of meander around the place, try and get a feel for everything?
Trinity looks contemplative for a moment and is like, not really interested in talking to anyone here, but if you think that's best, I'll go along with it. I'll even try to be nice.
I think she kind of turns her head around and smiles at her and says, "Good girl." And uh, then she'll go up to you know, maybe someone who's in a mask already, if there is anyone here.
So, anyways, Zeph, I'm gonna give you a condition, Big Sis in charge.
Walking in here like big dick in a locker room.
Yeah, because you're not meant to be doing that sort of behavior. You're not meant to be in charge.
No. It's
That's
bad when
just
I
one
am.
of the it's just one of the many things that a big sister's for.
Exactly.
This particular, let's say, guest, as it were, wearing sort of very fancy, sort of a full length ball gown, just wearing a very prim and proper mask. There has some feathers off to the side, sort of giving the sort of look that it is a swan mask. Dirty little fucks. I don't think Jason gets this from his games.
Oh shit. Well, sometimes the sidelines just have to be horny.
Mhm.
Chaotic just being like the absolute disrespect of everyone here. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zeph will approach the the swan and excuse me, are you terribly busy right now?
Oh, not currently, but maybe I could find something to do with you.
I'm sorry, I'm married.
And you're here? Is your
Yes, on a job.
okay for what?
Uh, Beast.
Bees?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I keep getting told that I'm saying it wrong, but so I just kind of try different pronunciations every time. It's spelled Biasd.
This is gonna be uh not the investigation move, but rather the veiled move, because I will note in the introduction, the Straits are on the verge of war with your with 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 the peninsula, and Biased is an official organization for that. So
I see.
unless you want to take that back.
Ah, nah. We'll roll with it.
Okay, whatever might
Fuck it, we
happen.
ball. Honestly, I think she's most afraid that by mentioning that she's married, she's gonna call her husband.
Oh yeah, okay. This is gonna be with probably with focus, because like you're trying to keep your chill. Um, because you're like, oh yeah, I work for this and I'm meant to be here, rather than letting this
Yeah.
person like think like you're just some like intruder or spy or something.
Yeah. Uh, this is
Surprisingly, your
one.
condition does not apply because you are big sis in charge. I think this will actually help you. So it will still be
Yeah.
flat though.
Let's see. What do I have in my altar? Oh, well, I mean, I literally mentioned being married, so I think she'll just kind of flash her wedding ring as she does so.
Advantage.
All right. And fucking 11.
Fucking 11. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I really hadn't realized that you were on here for official business. I don't know what's going on. Um, what how could I help? I think you may be a little bit more front with the ring, but maybe a little bit more quiet about working at your employer. Just say, I don't know, investigation business.
Oh, okay. Um, well, as far as helping, I mostly wanted to know, so the mask gets you access to the more restricted parts, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the upstairs?
Oh, yes, I have. Specifically, well, I know you didn't hear this from me, but the farther you get up the stairs, the stranger the place gets. People even say that past the ballrooms, well, that there's an entire forest up there.
Huh.
Hmm. Just the nature of it all. Love blooms wherever it can be found.
That was a good pun. All right, well, one other question. Do you know how the two of us might get one of those masks?
Well, there is a sort of mass gallery off, and like she does give directions, but you didn't hear that from me.
Hear what?
Gives you a little wave as presumably you head off to the max gallery.
Yeah, she'll curtsy.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't so hard, was it, Trinity?
What happened? Uh, Trinity's face is flushed and is like her pupils undilate. She was clearly not paying attention to anything that just transpired.
Are you just like trying to make me give you conditions? Damn, girl. Take the condition hot and bothered.
Uh,
Incredible. Zepp will just kind of chuckle and say, do I need to walk behind you?
I'm good. Trinity will grab on like the sleeve of Zeph's sleeve to like be guided though.
Excellent. Off we trot.
I think eventually you do probably when Piper is coming out of the mass gallery, you do run across her.
Oh, oh, Piper?
I've been here before, lassies. Don't worry about it. I'm actually going to go talk to somebody important. But you keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path.
Oh, well, good luck. I hope you are safe. Don't get lost in the forest. I hear there's a forest in the ballroom.
I I know my way around. No, don't worry about me. And I tap my nose and then I go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing the mask, of course.
Of course. Heading up to the second floor, the lounge. Up this is the grand staircase that is flanked by green lanterns, leading to massive doors at the second floor porch. opened by a pair of house staff in simple black masks. Inside, a classy lounge, a droning of murmur of pleasant conversation, green candles, black flowers and vases, a curtain at the far end blocked by masked staff. Besides them, a sign read masked guests, invitation only. But I paint the scene for everyone. How do you feel that this place is ready to cater to you personally?
It's more of vibe, but this place feels like an escape, which is pretty much the only thing Piper really wants.
I think that the people, you know, in this area who are maybe servers kind of walking around with drinks and charcuterie boards and the like are all very uh, erotically clad women in animal masks.
Building off of that, I think there's like go-go cages for also erotically clad dancers. However, they also have choke chains, so they can't move too far inside the go-go cage without it restricting around their neck. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Kyle.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one that has been called out. You could have further conversations with the guests more up here, or partake, as it were, in the more offerings on this level. But you could also go up to the third floor, which Piper, you know that the person you seek is up on the third floor.
I Oh, yeah. I'm going to look at the vibe of everything here and very, very longingly and be like, I really, really wish that I could chill and escape to just being here for a while and then move on to the third floor. I've got a job to do and I don't stop.
Mhm. Trinity, Zeph,
Hello.
are you going up to the third floor?
Well, once we get our masks,
Yeah, I imagine that you do so.
yeah, I think that uh, Zepp will kind of turn to Trinity, uh, and I think she'll kind of look at her and say, "These masks are a little on the nose, aren't they?"
I mean, this one's literally on my nose.
No, I mean seems almost designed, you know, and made for us, even though there's no way they could be, other than, of course, the influence of a god. It's really hard to understand or even feel like there is any kind of free will these days. Everyone is subject to their own god's whims and wishes, and at that point, why bother making choices?
Uh, Trinity like lightly fingers like the her sternum briefly. And it's just like, that's not true. Even in the face of divine, there's always a choice.
I'm gonna have to make sure my husband doesn't meet you as anytime soon.
Uh, Trinity tucks a hand behind her back as she digs nails into the palm of her hand until it bleeds, so that her big sister can't see that.
I will remember that for later.
God damn it.
Heading up to the third floor, then. The third floor, the ballroom, grand open space for dancing surrounded by columns. A string quartet plays to swaying dancers on the floor, tables and chairs for resting, a green chase lounge. I know you, Aaron.
It's the
Some,
cockshays. It's the cockshays.
I mean, you're not wrong in this case. Somewhere behind those board games and billiards, black masked maids walk by with trays of bubbly wine or green grapes. Doors to a balcony offer a grand view of the district of spires in the Nesh skyline. I paint the scene for everyone. Describe a brief vignette of courtship or romance taking place between two or more masked guests.
There are two women off in a corner sharing drinks, apparently having a very good time, um, kind of whispering in each other's ears. Um, it looks like they're negotiating, like, should we get out of here and go find my place, your place, like, and then an attendant comes up to them and whispers in one of the woman's ears and hands her a letter, and she like opens it up and like is obviously just like ugh, and makes makes her excuses and leaves, and the date is over.
Think that we see two people, each in uh, coyote masks, um, and they are dancing to really not much of anything, just to themselves as they talk and whisper in one another's ears. And I think eventually uh, one of the coyotes will grab a little vine of grapes off of one of the trays and start like gently feeding it to the other coyote, going under the mask with their fingers.
I think there's a couple of one of an indeterminate gender and one femme facing. Um, and the femme facing one is cutting up a line of cocaine and then using a dollar bill, puts it across the top of her chest as the other one does the bump off of her tits.
Hyper. Who? Well, have to get the name. But there is a woman who typically is a priestess here. She herself is the mistress of games of all sorts, games of romance, games of strategy. She has dark hair and crown braids, a white dress, white lace masquerade mask, black lipstick. She is sort of a little bit bored right now at the table because no one is really playing, well, games of strategy at the moment. Other games are being played as there's a very sort of loud snorting of cocaine throughout the room, sort of other whisperings, a slight hum of a song of on the violins. Sniff.
Sneef.
I take it this priestess is not the High Dionysian, but is a slightly lower ranking priestess.
Slightly lower ranking priestess, but has
Okay.
dealt with you in the past for deliveries and whatnot. Typically, deliveries of food, deliveries of like various game boards and pieces, just in case some of them get taken or used for non-game recollections or what have you.
Some of them, I mean, you do lose a lot of pieces. Not all of them have flared bases.
No, they just go up and they don't come back.
They don't come back. They call it an offering.
Mm-hmm. An offering of sorts.
Yeah, I get the feeling this is probably high up as I'm gonna get with someone in the the cult, and I sit down and and say,
Mhm.
right, it's been a long time. I just figured I'd stop by. Gotta check on how everything's doing. How have you been?
Oh, I've been doing well. I don't exactly recall having placed an order in for anything as of late, but well, you still seemingly got up here, so you are invited.
I just I got the feeling that you've had a little bit of trouble lately. And I figured that I might be able to help. I know there's probably kind of a lot of scrutiny on you, but with a mayor's daughter going missing, and I saw the writing on that sign that makes it look like there's some kind of connection.
Mm.
Coming into you've seen the billboard.
Yeah, maybe. That's people come in here willingly.
Oh, of course. That's why. That's why I wanted to stop by. I
Mhm.
imagined, people might get the wrong idea about you. Wanted to see what I could do to help.
Mhm. Well, you know how gods are like. They require sacrifices, they require order, they require status. Would you care for do you play? She points to the chessboard.
And I smile and immediately begin arranging my pieces.
Uh
I'm
this
going to play.
this is gonna be an information move with reason. Well, insight as you play a game.
finally, something I have a point in. I'm going to use my mask as kind of like a representation of the fact that we've played before. Like I've been here before. I'm known. I am, as she said, invited. And I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to use that to try and get advantage on this.
Okay. Yep, I think in this case I will give you advantage for now.
All right. That is a 10 because I rolled a 2, 5, and a 4. 5 and 4 is 9, and I have a 1 in this, so I get a 10. Yes.
Okay.
Finally, a roll.
All right. Trinity, Zeph, what are your plans? It seems Piper is going off to play a game. There's some more scantily clad women up here in animal masks as well. It seems that the guests themselves are a little bit more loose in their clothing rather than full-length ball gowns. It's more very form-fitting clothes if there's clothes.
What do you think, Trinity?
About?
Well, what should our next step of investigation be?
Well, the best way to break the ice is with a delicious, nutritious meal.
Okay. I think they carry around food.
Not their food.
You Are you gonna cook?
Uh, Trinity will approach whichever one of the scantily clad women is closest.
Yeah.
It looks like you've been at this for some time. Can I perhaps interest you in a light snack to help get your energy back up?
And you're triggering one bite is not never enough.
Of course I am.
Roll with presence or vitality then.
I will be rolling with presents, I think.
Mm-hmm. What did you get? A 5.
I'm really good at this.
A snack, you say? I have been craving a different type of meal as of late, and like this woman grabs you by the back of the head and starts to try to make out with you. Zeph, how does this make you feel?
A good question. I think that she's going to walk up to this woman and kind of tap her on the shoulder. And if and when she breaks away and looks, I think that Zeph is just going to headbutt her right in the nose.
This is going to be, I think, the revelation move because this is a very active aggression here. What do you afraid might
Yeah.
happen?
I am afraid of getting thrown out.
Oh, it's worse than that. Your honor, Zeph, has been sullied. and therefore your husband must step in.
Well, all right.
I'm going to give you a disadvantage because of Big Sis in charge, because currently Trinity isn't being in charge of someone else right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is going to be with Vitality, though.
Excellent. Uh, 6.
I think as you're about to do this headbutt, you feel a hand on your shoulder sort of stop you.
Her blood
Oh,
goes cold.
oh no, my dear. Let me in this other woman's head sort of just explodes because, well, your
Just
husband.
like JFK.
Because, well, your husband was a god, and, well, it's simple matters of flesh and desire. If you just turn those up just enough, you control people. And I think that's where we're going to end today's session.
Damn.
Um, it is 3:40. Yeah, Steph, do you need to be anywhere?
No, I don't have work for like 2 hours.
Okay,
Therapy?
No, I did that in the early now.
okay. Ooh,
jeez.
nice. So you don't have to like skedaddle.
I'm chilling. I'll
Uh,
probably try and take a power nap after this.
mhm. Stars and wishes.
Okay, I want
I
to. Oh, I'll go first.
please.
Um, Aaron, Trinity being a surly, lovesick puppy, like first thing in the morning, being like, "You know nothing of love." I absolutely loved that. That was that was almost as good as the reaction that you had to being called a good girl. Which those are my stars for you. Um, Steph, specifically the choice of having a mask made out of chains, the symbolism there is pretty incredible. That was just an incredible choice. And then, um, chaotic. I hate, I hate Dear Husband. I hate Dear Husband so much. You have absolutely like perfected that performance of this absolute scumbag. Um, it's really, really creepy and therefore extremely good. So, um, yeah, like I said with Marty's wish, like I do want to see where Theo and Piper goes. But I'm really looking forward to a confrontation with Dear Husband, which because of the because of the nature of the setting we're in is not going to go well for anyone going up against Dear Husband. But I want to see it anyway. Oh, just absolute banger of a session from everybody. Everyone left their hinges at the door. It was delightful.
Uh, I know, like we like y'all were just goofing in chat and all, but like I still like you were bringing like, oh yeah, this is scary. This is fucked up. This is awful, but we're gonna have a good time with it anyways. So like I do appreciate that. Damn, Steph, the description of the cake, what it tastes like, that was fucked up, and I'm just like, oh, it's reciprocal. Oh God. Proper love triangle territory. I'm gonna have to update the content warnings to be no, this is just full on incest now. This is not just themes, this is textual. Um Aaron, you don't need to be doing this to yourself. You don't need to be giving yourself conditions.
Oh, hold on. You are the one giving me the conditions, okay? You did it. I might have said things to prompt it, but you did the thing, okay? You did it.
Chaotic out here being like, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely would like if it wasn't for the content warnings, I would like point this to the session of like, this is how often like a keeper should be using their reactions. Like you can be using the same ones over and over again, but it's just meant to be escalating, separate, introduce characters, put them in danger. Because even though like I know Trinity that you were the one that failed the role, like it just made sense to like have Seth suffer the consequences. Also, I'm very proud of myself of showing exactly why you do not want to confront the dear husband because Zeph was about to headbutt someone and dear husband showed up and just like head explode. Also fucked up guy like idea of just like, oh yeah, he's just energy made manifest into a guy with a six pack.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just ripped.
He's just ripped. Originally I read him I wrote him as just a weird thing and like a skin suit. So this is going to be a very interesting take. I'm looking forward to the verses of prophecy when it comes to Zeph. Also,
Breaded no wheat.
yeah, Trinity. Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm scared. Because I know like your next verse is about how you became a custodian. Because like I'm just like that's fucked up. Also, I'm looking forward to Piper's history because we finally got a few verses there, especially with the special rule that's in play with the House of Green Delights, which says to add green objects to verses now.
Oh, okay.
So do think on that. I'm also looking forward to seeing how you guys work when split up in different types of investigation. I'm really hoping to get more gods in.
I can go next. First off, star to everyone for those incredible facial reactions when I said the cake tastes like Trinity. That was very satisfying for me. Big fan. Also, like, also a huge fan of everyone just basically getting, like, I can see you all get physically stressed whenever it's my turn to speak in character. And I think that's lovely. Like, everyone knows what's about to happen. Nobody likes what's about to happen, except also we like what's about to happen. And it's so fun. I love dealing psychic damage to my friends, and I'm glad that this is going on YouTube so I can deal psychic damage to strangers. Anyhow, in specific, for Aaron, I really enjoy how you're playing Trinity, even like beyond like the overarching theme of fuck. I was okay. Well, I was about to say something incredibly fucking weird, and now that I've started laughing like that, I can't not say it. So, aside from the sister fister aspect. Trinity's just like so fucking strange. Like you can tell this chick has more trauma than a fucking OR. Like, damn, you can fit so much mental illness into this bad boy. Uh, exactly. Uh, for chaotic, I really enjoy like just in general, I love your keeper style. I love how frequently you like hand out conditions and make things complicated without like even necessarily having much, if any, prompting. Uh, like it's really good. You're really good at using the tools in the toolbox, which is something that like I'm striving to be better at as a keeper myself. So having like such a good example is really helpful. Um, but also like I'm really glad that you like as soon as I said he's the platonic ideal of a husband, you were immediately there. You just had it on lock. You're like, okay, yeah. So uh this is John from the 70s. Like he's got a fucking cigar. He probably wears polos and really tight pants and a belt. Fucking evil, evil man. But yeah,
He's
I'm
just
really excited.
just wants to make you happy. Happy wife,
Exactly.
happy life.
That is what they say. That's also a good condition.
Mhm.
Uh, for Kyle, I really love how like you're immediately like, okay, how can I like in the journey scene to preface so that it has context? You were immediately with that recall a time prompt, like, okay, how can I make this awkward as fuck for everyone in the immediate moment? Uh, I dated the waitress, and then kind of a belated start for Marty, immediately seeing that and being like, oh, I can make this worse. Like that was brilliant. I loved watching you two ping off each other like that. Like I really enjoy how Piper is very. I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but she's very subtle in an upfront way. Like there's a lot going on under the surface that she seems to be masking with everything going on above the surface. Uh, and it's very interesting to see, and I'm very excited to like kind of get into the meat and potatoes of that. Uh,
Oh, perfect. You are picking up what I'm putting down then. That means all right, that means it's working. Good. All right, this is
yeah.
good to know.
Uh, as far as wishes go, I'm really excited to play more next week and go for another car ride with my husband. And yeah, see what the fuck happens with the head explode, see what other consequences come from that, and decide if I'm gonna write a verse at that point. I probably won't. I love it when things are fucked up. So I guess we'll see.
All right. I guess that leaves me. Um, for Kyle, I have two stars. One's a very out of game star. It was as I finished reading my verse, I looked up and the first face I saw was Kyle's with this deep concern on your face, and it made me very happy. I was like, yes, that's the reaction I wanted. Perfect. I have done my job. The other part was um uh you're you kind of know everyone, and that's a little fucked because of the places we're going. Like, oh yeah, I've been here before. It's like, why the fuck were you here? It's every place we've gone to, even in the journey scene. Oh, I've been here before. I dated the fucking waitress. It was I really did love the journey scene too, just because you're like, let's drag Trinity into this mess, because Trinity's gonna have something insightful to say. No, never. For chaotic, I loved head explodey and there. That was great. We love a Trinity covered in gore and blood. That'll be fine for everyone. Um, uh, I also do love getting punished for my my mouth opening and saying things that Trinity does and then getting conditions for them. We love it. Steph, I think the obvious star here is being called a good girl. We'll leave it at that. We'll just leave it there. As for I also did like the cake. It's already been starred, but the cake bit was amazing too. Um, wishes. Yes, I'm looking forward to playing more. I'm also looking forward to how now that the husband is in Trinity's line of sight, how that's gonna unfold. Because Lord knows that bitch ain't gonna do something sane and normal. But yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, it was established that Zeph is like, we need to keep the two of you separated for as long as possible, and then immediately, oh, don't worry, hun, I'll take care of this. Like, great, just perfect, chef's kiss.
Yeah, so Trinity needs to think about her choices. Um,
Not her strong suit.
yeah, but one final thing before we head off. We cut away from the scene of an exploding head to a private study. It is lavishly decorated, but in the corners of the room there's mildew speckled. A pseudo figure sits at an immense desk of dark polished wood. Various artifacts from across history is mounted on the walls. The study windows, faintly tarnished, look out to see a swath of purple brown bog with reddish fungal blooms. And there's this ancient looking phone where it has like the cord all coiled up, plugged into the wall, and it rings. They answer, listening keenly as they swirl a glass of a deep emerald hue green liquid in it. A few notable phrases are heard. What news of our good associates in the field? Engaging with stray gods directly and still untarnished? Oh, interesting. Well done. They should be perfectly suitable to our needs. Do be sure to extend our full hospitality, won't you? That's right. All assets are on the table. We haven't got much time. Hangs up and takes a pen to sign what looks to be of some sort of contract and signing the name Sketterich with a flourish.